So to directly go to the Google Scholar and type the search query or search string, search terms, right? So without any asterisk mark, you can simply type the words. Then you get nearly 268,000 results. This is really difficult to screen out, right? And maybe sometimes in this, there are so many unwanted garbage, right? Therefore, we need to exclude them, right? So how we can do that? We can go to this menu and we can click the advanced search, and we can cut this entire phrase and copy here, and we need to delete this. With the exact phrase bar, in the exact phrase bar, you can type the search term. Then you need to click this button, because in order to avoid unwanted article generations or the information generations, you can limit the articles or the study on workplace romance reflected in the title of the article. So the articles which are mentioning workplace romance in the title are detected by this search algorithm, right? So then basically I decided to take from 1991 to 2023 according to the inclusion criteria. Then search. So then we get nearly 143 results, right? So since this is a practical session, I just want to reduce it further down. So then I'm taking 2000 only for these purposes, the practice purposes, from 2015 to 2021. So then we get nearly 63 results, right? But so journals may ask, why did you take this year range? Was there any specialty? Justify, right? Otherwise, if you can't justify, then they may reject your paper, right? So for the sake of convenience of explaining and managing all these with a limited time period, I'm reducing. That's my justification to reduce, take only the 2000 last 5 years, 7 years result, 8 years result, right? So now what we need to do is you need to use Mendeley, right? So here, search with Google. Search articles in Google. So in the steps, install Mendeley Reference Manager. Before searching, you need to install the Mendeley Reference Manager into your computer, right? So in this YouTube video, you can watch how to do that. Watch this video. And install a Mendeley Web Importer, the second step, right? Again, you can watch how to do that in this video. All these are in my YouTube channel. So then go to the Google Scholar. Then we did that. Search articles, that is automatic exclusion of articles that do not meet inclusion criteria and fill the Prisma framework. So now we need to use the Prisma framework, right? So here is the Prisma framework, as you can see, right? So in the first session, there were so many other frameworks, but as this is the Prisma framework and highly recommended for systematic literature review. So I advise you to use the Prisma framework rather than the other. If you are going to use other frameworks which are almost the same, right? So you must have a clear justification. You need to justify, because sometimes the one journals who know very much, who are interested very much about Prisma, sometimes may raise questions, why didn't you use Prisma, right? So as now it's becoming very popular, and you can find all of my articles I have used Prisma framework, and which is highly recognized and popular, right? Now and Cochrane studies, Prospero, Prisma organizations are working together for further development of the systematic literature review. So therefore they are working collaboratively. So therefore the Prisma framework is getting wider attention by the academia, right? So therefore, I advise you to use the Prisma. This is the Prisma framework. Say, for example, initially how we get from Google, we need to fill simultaneously this framework, right? So from the Google, we got 63 documents. 63. And once we get into the lens.org, we can fill that, how many articles generated initially. Then we need to merge these two database results and find the duplicate. Sometimes the articles in the Google may find, can be found in the lens.org as well, right? So then duplications are there. We need to remove duplicates after combining them. And so then duplicates need to be reported here, right? And we have in the Prisma framework, they have given two sub-steps at the screening stage, automatic exclusion and manual exclusion. So automatic exclusion is normally done at the database level, because can you remember initially we got 200 and nearly 68,200 and nearly 68,000 results from Google. Then we excluded that using the year range functionality, right? Year range we took only from 1991 to 2023. Then you can simply mention the number you excluded, right? So out of you finally got 143 articles when you took this year range, right? So 268,000 minus 142, 43. Then this is the answer that you excluded, right? So you need to mention all these. You need to be really frank on all the process that you have done and need to be reported, right? Everything what you did. And so, for example, we can find out the English conference papers, dissertations, book chapters, books, and you can decide whether to include and exclude. In my inclusion criteria, I have decided to exclude all these. And by looking at these results, then we can simply exclude all these articles. Then manually, after doing this, we need to manually exclude each and every reviewer. Reviewer normally are the reviewers are the authors of your research, right? So can individually, manually refer each and every abstract and find out whether it is a relevant article which meets the inclusion criteria or not. If it is not meeting the inclusion criteria, then you decide to exclude, right? So that must be independently done. And finally, once the entire screening process done, then you can agree how many articles to include and how many articles to exclude if there are through consensus, through discussion, right? So, so discussion ultimately results to finally include articles. Then with strong justifications, you can discuss. Then finally, you can decide which articles are retained. That's not end, right? So then you need to go to the other step. So that is basically assessing eligibility. Eligibility is methodological quality of each and every article. As I told you, we need to input high quality articles for the review, not the garbages, right? Not the unreliable data. So unreliable articles. So therefore, we need to check whether the methodology they followed to conduct the research was quality, in high quality, right? So we found, for example, so these titles may be changed depending on your research area. So I found by the manual, again, this need to be manually done by the reviewers independently. Then we found basically methodology not clear in some articles, right? So maybe one or two articles are there, then you can mention that. So other than those main reasons, you may have other reasons, right? So when you are assessing the methodological quality, so then in the we have found qualitative papers which was not detected by the software and the Google or the database, right? By manually reading article, we found that this article is a qualitative study. So then we found 10 articles there, right? So number can be simply mentioned and exclude, and viewpoint articles and case studies, right? So these reasons may be changed depending on your study and the study area, right? So simply we can exclude articles based on that. And all these, the screening, we have basically screening stage has two sub stages need to be done. And so which has basically three sub stages, excluded automatically, excluded manually, and excluded manually, right? So these things need to be done uh, at the initial screening level, right? So since we are in the screening now, how we can do that? So we can simply do that. So I have installed the reference manager Mendeley here, and ping to my taskbar. Then I can simply open that. Right. So this is my Mendeley reference manager. I have logged in, right? So you can watch the video and how to install and how to use everything explained in that video, right? So at the same time, you minimize it and you have Mendeley web importer connector to Chrome. If you are using a Mac, you can install or Edge operating Edge Microsoft Edge browser. So you can link, you can install this extension to the browser, right? Since I'm using the Chrome, so Mendeley has the web importer connector for Chrome. So you can simply Google it and find out the Chrome extension, and you can install that extension to the Chrome, right? So this is the Mendeley web importer, and you simply click that. Right. Now it's generating. All these results are dragged or detected by this Mendeley software. So for example, how does workplace romance influence employee performance? Right. So you can find out that article. Here you can find out that article. Right. So all these results generated on this page are detected or extracted by this software, right? Now what we need to do is to bring or carry all these results to the Mendeley software, right? So Mendeley software has a web version and the offline version. This is the offline version, right? And so you can have the online version by clicking this link, view library. This is an online version of the offline version, right? So the same thing, the same software appeared online, right? So in that, you can create a folder. So new collection, right? New collection, you can type workplace Romans test 1 and synchronize it. So synchronizing functionality automatically synchronize all the new entries created is synchronized with the offline version. And you can find the same in here. And once it is synchronized. Otherwise, you can simply create workplace Romans test 1 here, right? So that must be synchronized. I don't know why it is not synchronizing. It must be synchronized. So once you've done any change with the online version, that must be reflected in the offline version as it is. In order to save the time, I'm just creating the same thing in the offline version. Now what we need to do is, so we have the created file. I have created 2 files, need to be deleted one, right? So this folder is empty. Now what we need to do is to bring that detected all the list in the first page of the Google into this particular folder. We have the list. This is the first page of the generated list. Then we can select the particular folder. So otherwise, I think this has not been refreshed. Again, you can close it. You can simply refresh it, click it again. And it is again reading and extracted all the data on this page into this particular software. Right, now done. Now there may be workplace Romans. So we have created this one. Test one, we need to synchronize it. And again, close it. Now you can select. Here you have the folder. Now check this one and select all and add. Right, done. So now all the articles or the studies in the on the first page now being detected. Right. So now just click the second page and do the same, and third page and fourth page and do the same until you get all these 6 to 3 results into the software, Mendeley software, right? So now you can synchronize it. Then automatically the exports we did can be seen here, right? So now you can, so we have basically folder pane and the item pane in a one particular folder. And if you click here, so the reference bibliometric metadata can be seen here in this pane. So basically we have 3 pane, right? Folder pane and the item pane in a particular folder and the item information, metadata or bibliometric information in a particular item of a particular item are displayed here. So for example, this is the title and authors, year. So year has not been detected by the software. Volume, issue, pages, abstract was not detected. There are some errors, missing values. So then how we can do that? So you just go to the your keyboard and press the Control A. So once pressing the Control A, then automatically all these lists, items in the list automatically selected. Then right click on it and update details. Then automatically all these informations are being updated. Right? You can see all these items are being updated. Right? So now done. Now you can find informations here. Right? You can find all these information. And this one again, some informations are missing. You have this information as well. Right, one by one, you can check whether all these informations have been detected or not. We can't believe the software, so therefore, it's better to check one by one whether all these informations have been detected or not by the software. Now done, right? So now you can, if the let's say, let's find another one which has not been filled, missing, still have the missing values here. Okay, this is having almost having. Suppose this item does not have the keywords, right? The keyword is already missing. In that case, what you need to do is sometimes the software makes some errors, right? So in that case, some information still missing even though we perform the update functionality, right? So in that case, you can directly go to the individual article. How you can do that? So here the article link is there. You can click that, right? So once clicking, you are dragged onto the original article. If it is open access article, if it is not open access, you can find the original website data. The article is on, right? So in that, basically, you can copy manually the relevant abstract, if it is abstract is missing, and relevant keyword uh, if it is missing in the software, and copy and paste manually, right? So the keywords, simply you can paste it, right? Uh, so that's how you can fill the missing values. Right, done. Now, by using the inclusion criteria, now you can, one by one, you can read. Here you have the abstract, right? You can enlarge a bit by dragging this leftward, and you can simply read, authors can read each and every abstract. Sometimes abstract may not provide all the informations in some abstracts. In that case, you can click this URL and you can directly go to the website of this article or the full page, full version of this article. If sometimes there are subscribed version, not open access, everyone can't access, even if we are not subscribed to this journal. So in that case, you are only seeing the abstract. So in that case, you can you need to find a mechanism to access the full article, right? So the full article need to be reviewed because, for example, in this case, when you are going to assess the methodology, right? So in some abstract methodology not clearly explained. So in that case, you are mandatory to refer or the go through the methodology section in the article. So that is maybe in the middle of the article. So in that case, you need to refer that. You need to go through that. So for that, obviously, you need to download the full article, right? So in that case, sometimes some abstract contain all the necessary information. So then based on that, we can decide whether a particular article is a methodologically quality one or not. Or at this level, we can decide whether it is whether that article meets the inclusion criteria that we have already taken, right? And based on that, we can decide whether it is included for the review and excluded for the review, right? So that can be done at this level, and simultaneously while searching and screening, we can fill the Prisma diagram, right? And finally, we can, after filling all these, then we can decide how many articles can be included for the review, right? So then this framework filling process done, right? Still we are in the process. We can go for the offline version. So simply you can go through each and every, let's say you think that this is not needed, this is out of the inclusion criteria, then simply you can right click on it and remove from the folder. And so if it is a, let's say, not an empirical study, you just directly go to the relevant box and mention methodology is not clear, maybe sometimes, right? Or maybe it's a qualitative study, then put a mark here, one, right? So one by one, you need to manually review each and every article according to your inclusion criteria. So that's done. And you have been given sample frameworks that have been used in my articles. The way how I did, you can just refer my article, and this entire process was clearly explained, have been clearly explained in my article. Just go through. This is one example. and this is another example, and this is another example, and this is another example in 3 articles. So then say all these process done, the screening and eligibility checking, those 2 steps already done. Now after doing that, we can decide how many articles are going to be included for the final review. So these are the high quality articles, empirical articles according to our inclusion criteria. So I have finalized the one in order to save the time. Did explain the process how it is done. Let's say, so this is the final data set. After doing all the screening, this is the final list of articles retained for the review, right? So now what you can do is just using your keyboard, just press Control A, then all the items selected, then right click on it and export, right? Export, because there are the Mendeley software gives 3 options, 3 file types, bibliometric files. So select this one, RIS file, and export to the destination folder. So I'm exporting to the download folder by just clicking this one. Automatically, it is saved in the download folder. I'm not going to do this. I have already done it in this folder, right? So this is the Mendeley workplace Romans Mendeley from Google Scholar RIS file. I've done it earlier in order to save the time. So now what we need to do is, this is the final file. Suppose that you are using only the Google Scholar as the search source, because you are taking articles only from the Google Scholar. You can decide. Let's say that's up to you to decide whether you go for the databases or you are ending the process with the Google. Now we can use the Google Scholar for the analysis. This is the retained article list, and how you can analyze that. Now we need to go to the software that we are going to use. The software is VOSviewer. It is an open source software, freely available. Anyone can access. So you need to go to the Google Scholar, Google it. You can directly go to the Google and search VOSviewer. So when you are dragged into the VOSviewer official site, and in that site, you can download the software here. So you are supposed to download the latest version. Here we have the 1619 latest version. So download that. I have already done. In my computer, I'm having that VOSviewer. And this is the interface of the software. This is very simple. It's a handy tool for systematic literature review, especially for keyword concurrence analysis. You need to press this button, and you need to select this one. Don't select this one, the second one. Create a map based on bibliometric data, the second option, and press the next button. And in that, you can use, if you are using a database, you can use this option. Since we are using reference manager software, we can use the second option. So because we are going to use the RIS file, and we need to select the file. So we have the file here. This first one. Okay, then go next. And we have basically 2 functionalities in this, with this RIS format, because still we are having some limitations still, since this software is being developed. So only we have limited functionalities, but fortunately, since we are going to do the keyword concurrence analysis, it's now active, right? So which means that we can perform the keyword concurrence analysis with that data set. So we can press the next button, and so these are the keywords, because our unit of analysis are the keywords. Is the keywords mentioned in on each and every article that we have included for the review, right? So now you can say minimum number of occurrences of a keyword. A particular keyword have occurred 3 times or more. How many keywords? Only 3 keywords are there. A particular keyword, let's say X has been occurred in the, let's say we have included 1,000 articles for the review. Let's say we have included 100 articles for the review. Retained articles are 100 articles. In those articles, we have a particular keyword, X keyword, that has been occurred 3 times or more. Only 3 keywords are there. Right? So this is what this particular box means. Right? So then when you decrease, right, the number, right, let's say 1 occurrence, we have total keywords, 109 keywords are there in the list. If you increase the number 2 times, 2 occurrence, the particular keyword, there are 19 keywords. 3 time occurrence, only 3 keywords. After that, there are no keywords, which means that there are maximum occurrences only is number of occurrences, maximum number of occurrences are 3. The keywords are only the 3 keywords are there, which has maximum 3 occurrences in this data set. Right? So keyword denotes a content of an article. Right? So now let's decide, rather than taking 3 keywords, we need to find out a broader view of knowledge that has been addressed by the researchers. Right? So then we decide to take each keyword mentioned in the article list that we have included. So we mean that so we included all the keywords for our analysis. Then press next and keep as it is. And so these are the keywords summarized. Right? So at this point, sometimes there may be unwanted keywords. Sometimes, let's say, if you go through this one, since we are talking about this workplace romance, unrelated keywords may be there. Right? So those can be excluded at this level as well. Sometimes countries' names are there. Sometimes, as you know, some researchers mention the country's name as a keyword. Some researchers place analysis method. Say, for example, one researcher has used smart PLS, and she has mentioned smart PLS as a keyword in the on the abstract on the paper, right? So which may not be useful for our analysis. That's not reflected in our research objective and research keywords. Sorry, research questions. So in that case, we can exclude simply, right? So let's say, and also we have sometimes synonyms, right? So we have ICT. At the same time, we have the long sentence of this abbreviation, information and communication technologies. So which has the same meaning, same thing, right? Some researchers use only the abbreviation, and some other research may be used using the same long terminology. So in that case, we can determine whether to include or exclude. So say for example, Pakistan, country's name is there. That is not needed. So if that is not needed for our analysis, which is not reflecting in our and research questions and research objectives, in that case, you can uncheck this, right? And you can see in this column the number of occurrences. See how the workplace romance has been occurred 22 times. Sexual harassment has been occurred in 5 times. Love contracts have been occurred with 3 times. At 3 times. Organizational behavior 2 times. Likewise, so these are only 1 times. We can arrange this in alphabetical order or ascending and descending order by clicking on this. Right? When you click this, simply it is ordered ascending order, and again click like this, so then descending order. And when you click on this again, so you can order this because, for example, when you at this level as well, you can simply determine whether some keywords are excluded or included. But remember, you are going to exclude the keywords, not the entire research, not the research that you are going to exclude, right? So you have already included the research. In that, unwanted keywords may be there, so that can be excluded. So one excluded, let's say this is not needed, this is not needed, right? So you can determine whether it is needed. So here you can see that different terminologies for the workplace Roman. When you order the from highest to the lowest, right? Workplace Romans is there, but you can see the same terminology, keyword has been used in research. You can find out the workplace. No, you can find the same word, and there, when it comes to this one, right? Similar social media, different terminologies are there. In that case, you can determine whether it is included or excluded. If you think that need to be that can be excluded, try to exclude the one which has lower occurrence, right? Try to exclude and exclude the keyword that has very lower occurrence in article, right? So Zimbabwe is again a country. Let's say that is not needed. Similar words, social media. There are in fact no similar words in this, I guess. Right. So let's think that this is the final, right? So then we can finalize. Then we have this type of a handy diagram. This diagram says a lot, right? I will explain this thing later on once I discuss the point report writing. And this has different variety, different visualization. Because we visualize the entire research published or in the literature as a diagram. We visualize the published knowledge like this. Now, based on this visualization, we can determine whether what are the areas that has been addressed commonly. What are the areas that has not been addressed commonly? What are the gaps prevailing? Right? So to do that, we can use the density visualization map. In that, we can change the color codings. This one, right? So this color says, based on the color, we can determine whether a particular area of research has been widely addressed or not. The VOSviewer manual, you can download the manual here, and the logic behind this is explained in this manual. This mathematical algorithm is there in order to generate color code, right? So we have basically three colors: green, yellow, red, four colors in fact, and sorry, green, yellow, blue, and red. So these colors say something.